Welcome to Hard Mode and Hardware, and if you want to learn how to hit the ground running, like I just literally did, sorry about that, then stick around to the end of this video because I will show you how to get yourself started in Valheim. This is a quick start guide, and I've landed right in the thick of a fight. Boars and everything everywhere. Oh, and greylings are going to run away. Okay, so when you land, you might end up in a fight. It's not the best, but you might. You just got to do it. You can these creatures you can hit barehanded, but they will hurt as well. You can use the middle to kick them away. If you die, you're not going to be far away from here. So there we go. Get away from me, greyling. Whew, that was close. What a start. Right, okay, so now after that rude interruption, I'm going to show you how to get started in Valheim, including building your first base, how to get yourself equipped for the very first boss. And once you unlock that boss, you've got loads of options for crafting and creating, so it'll give you a good start for making your base and starting your game. So anyway, when you land, hopefully you won't get attacked by boars and greylings. And you'll land in this position here. So the tutorial is not too bad, but it's a load of text and it's quite poetic. It's nice, but it's sort of I prefer watching videos. I don't know about you, so that's why I'm doing this guide. So very first thing, you can speak to Hugin here, but you know, watch this video instead, and it'll give you a quicker insight. First thing you want to do is come over to this first stone, and it will mark the place of the first boss on your map, so you know where it is going to be. It's not essential at the moment, but that is the first place that boss is going to be. This guy's going to keep popping up, but don't worry about him. So first thing you need to do is gather some wood, because we're going to need some tools. So the first thing you need to do is gather I think it's three wood and 2 stone for a hammer. So the wood looks like this on the floor. You've got these branches you can pick up. Alternative to this is you can walk up to one of these small trees, these saplings, and just punch it. And this does 2 things. It will build your unarmed skill, which is good, because there is weapon skill in this game, but also it gives you wood for nothing without having to use any tools. So it's got a double effect. It's well worth it. Stones are also lying on the ground. You may have seen me just picking up a few of them, but I'll show you one specifically in a moment. Okay, so I've got enough for a hammer now. So you press tab to get into your inventory. Once you've got 3 wood and 2 stone, you've got your first hammer, so let's build that. The other thing that's going to make life easier is a stone axe. So for a stone axe, you're going to need 4 stone and 5 wood. So I will gather the resources for that, and I'll show you what that looks like. So these are stones on the ground here, so you just need to press E to pick them up. They are round and about. Sometimes you'll see them in large groups on the rockier slopes, and sometimes they're few and far between. One of the other things you want to do is watch out for raspberries as well. These are dotted around, and it can be worth your while. I mean, the stone circle's on the map already, so you don't really need to worry about this close, but you can mark them on the map, and that will make life easier for finding them in future. Okay, so I've got enough for the axe now as well, so I'm going to craft the stone axe, and the stone axe is going to let you cut down the easier of the large trees. So the trees that look like this, they're sort of dull grey. So if you hit 3 to get your axe out, you can chop down these trees. These will give you a lot more wood a lot more quickly. So it's definitely worth building that axe as soon as you can. Possibly even before you build the hammer, but either or, you're going to need the hammer as well, so just build them both. So you just keep chopping down the trees. Watch out for them falling, because they will hurt. They can take down other trees like that, look, which is always a bonus, because that means you don't have to do the work. But yeah, they do rather hurt if they land on your head. So get out the way of a rolling. Oh, look what happened. See that? Hardware died. Yeah, so don't let the logs fall on you. That was unfortunate. I didn't think that was going to happen. But that segues nicely into what happens when you die. So you get the little death marker on your map in the top right corner. You can go and find where you died, and you can pick up your stuff. So it's not too bad. It can get a bit hard sometimes if you are miles away in the worst areas. So let's just get all that equipment back on. There we go. Okay, so let's get our axe out. So once you've chopped the logs down, you just want to chop them up into wood. So a tree will chop into 2 large logs, and then each of those large logs will chop down into wood pieces, and that's what you need to build. So to build your first, I've got my little diagram here, hang on. To build the first house that I'm going to create, you will need to gather 180 wood, and 5 stone. And here's a greyling who's going to pick a fight, and I've got an axe in my hand, so he's a fool. Yeah, so you will need 180 wood and 5 stone to build the first building that I'm going to build. Now, you don't have to build this first building. You know, you can make more of an open camp as long as you've got a bit of shelter. But I like to build this first little Viking-looking house. It looks quite nice. It's functional, and it will provide all the shelter and accommodation that you need. Oh, let's get out of the way so we don't die again. So I'm going to gather all the resources I need to build this first house, and then I'll get back to you in a moment. One thing to note, sorry, I said about picking up the raspberries, but you can right-click them in your inventory to eat them. I think you can hotkey them as well, but they will increase your stamina, and they will also, obviously, regenerate your health if you eat. You can eat 3 different items at once, and they have to be different. You can't eat 3 of the same. And you can't like top up on raspberries until it's time to top up on raspberries. Well, you'll see that in a moment, what that looks like. Okay, so one of the other things you're going to want to pick up as you're walking around are mushrooms, which are also great. So yeah, you can eat raspberries and mushrooms at the same time. They really will give you a nice little stamina boost, and they'll make your health increase a little bit as well. So I'm just going to pick these berries up. I'm going to mark them on the map just to show you how to do it. So you press M to bring up your map. You can choose your icon, and then you just double click, and you can leave a little note to yourself. So I'll put that as berries so that I know there's a batch of berries here in future. Okay, so I've what I've had to do, if you look at the map, I've moved away from the stone circle because what you want is a half decent flat area to build on, or at least reasonably flat, because we're going to be leveling the ground in a moment anyway. But I wanted to pick a nice little area, and I'm sort of same distance away from the boss, so that's not too bad. Okay, so I've gathered all the wood I need. I've created these log piles because it's just an easy way to store 50 wood at a time. So the first thing we want to do is press 2 to get our hammer out. It happens to be 2 in mine, but it could be whatever on yours. And then we're just going to pick the crafting bench, the workbench. And we're just going to pick somewhere relatively flat to place it, because we need to build a shelter around this. So let's see let's start here. Why don't we start here? Okay, so once we've got that, what we need to build is a shelter around it. So this is going to be a very temporary shelter just to get us rolling with the workbench, because if we need to... Oh, I need more wood. Right, okay, so let's go and get more wood. So what we do is wander down here, and we'll destroy these log piles, and these will give us back the wood that we've harvested for those. So that's good. I'll just take one at a time because they do weigh a bit. Where's my workbench just gone? Where have I put it? Where did I put my... Oh, this fog doesn't have to throw me off. Ah, there we go. So, yeah, we're going to build a temporary shelter around it, just because if you want to build anything actually on the workbench itself, we need to have it in a shelter, otherwise it just won't work. You can build a building anywhere within the... If you look at the dotted white circle, that's exactly where you can build building and think structures. But in terms of actually building something on the workbench itself, tools or whatever, then you're going to need a small shelter. So I'll just build that first. So what I do is I just do a surround 2 on each side like that. Then we'll go into the building menu. We'll just put one of these low roofs on it. Let's see. Stick. There we go. Like that. And then another one like that. And like that. And then we'll pick the low wall. We'll go underneath. And there we go. And then you pick the 26-degree roof, spin it around so it's right, and we'll put a little bit there, and a bit there, and a bit there. So don't worry about this, because we can knock this down in a moment. We're just going to use this because we need to make the hoe. So let's see. Hoe. Right, okay, so we're short on stone for the hoe, so I'll gather the stones here. Oh, look at that! 2 stones. It's almost like I planned it. 2 stones there, so we will go back up to the workbench. We'll create the hoe. Now, what the hoe allows us to do... Oh, another note about the workbench. If you look at this symbol on the left-hand side of the workbench pane, that will repair items. You just keep clicking it till everything's repaired in your inventory. So if we get the hoe out, what the hoe is going to allow us to do is level the ground. So the way it works is the ground will level to wherever you're standing, roughly, depending on what is in the ground. But if you look at the circle, if it's got a line that's down from the middle of the circle, that means that the ground is below you and it's going to be leveled up to you, and vice versa. But yeah, generally it's or leveled down to you. But if you can't see the circle, it's because it's either too far away or it's under the ground because it's going to be leveled down to you. Anyway, so I'm going to stand about here and I'm just going to see if I can level the ground out all around me. The best thing to do is to create a decent size piece of ground around you first without moving, because then it will all be level with you, and from there you can then carry on leveling further. Obviously, as you can see, it takes a bit of stamina, so let me just get some food, which will increase my stamina. So I'm going to stand on the same level and I'm going to carry on leveling the ground because we need to make a decent space for our little hut. And we will move the workbench inside the hut in a moment, but for now we just need space to build it first. So that's not looking too bad. That'll give us enough space, I think, for what I'm intending. And this is basic. This isn't going to be one of those big fancy bases. They will come later. This is just to get us a place to rest and a place to get us started in what we need to gather to take on Eikthyr, which is the first boss. Okay, so we've done that. So we're going to put the hoe away. I'm going to pick up this stone because it's in the way. So these big stones, unfortunately, we're going to need a pickaxe to get rid of those. But I think I've actually done quite well in my selection here to get the area leveled for the house I intend to build. So I'm just going to go and grab the other wood because I'm going to need that. Okay, so here's the this is the base I will intend to build. So it's 180 wood and 5 stone for this entire structure, and the stone is for the campfire that we're going to need inside. But I'll explain that in a minute. So I just do a 3 wide building. I will then come forward 4 panels, but the 3rd panel in on this wall will go out. So we'll leave that one for now. So we'll go on the other wall first. So we'll do that, that, and that. And then we'll put one there like that. And we'll put a door in there in a minute. So on this side, we're going to build out like this, and like this. And this is going to allow us to build a rudimentary chimney, because one of the things, if you put a campfire inside a house, you need to make sure that it's ventilated. Otherwise, it will choke you out on the fumes, which is not good. So from there I'm going to do the floor. So I tend to put a wooden floor in as well, just because it looks nice, and I think it adds to the comfort anyway, which you'll see in a moment. Get onto comfort in a moment. And we'll choose the 2-meter wooden pole, and we're going to put one in each corner like that, and then one at each join, and this is going to give us the extra support for the roof. So one in each corner and one at each of these side joins here like this. Okay, from there we're going to pick the 45-degree wooden beam. We're going to make sure it's straight to the house, and we're going to put one of those on top of each of those 2-meter beams that we just put in. This is not, you know, you don't have to do this. You can do it your own way. This is just the way I build my first house, and it's only 180 wood. It sounds like a lot, but actually it's not that much, and it gives you enough room to start out, you know, with what you need to do, and it's a decent shelter. So you can build your own, but this is what I build. So you can try this one and see how you get on. Okay, so once we've got those beams in, what we're going to do is put the cross members in. So it's these guys like this, and I think these look, oh, well, I mean, when you build them right, they look great. But I think these look fantastic. They look very, very Viking when you build it this way, I find. Okay, next up we're going to use a door. Now that, I know, because I thought this as well, it looks quite small, but actually when you walk up to it, it is your height. It just looks like a mini door, I find anyway. Okay, so once we've got that in place, I missed 2 of the beams that we need to add. So 2, and we'll go back to these 45-degree wooden beams. We're going to spin them round like that, and they're gonna see if I can see what I'm doing first. Actually, let's just zoom out. There we go. So these are going to go on top of those beams facing outwards, because this is going to create the extra shelter for the fire that's going to stop it going out when the weather's bad. Okay, naturally we'll stay outside. Right, so next up for me, I will put the roof on. So we'll go back into the menu. We'll choose the 45-degree thatch roof. Spin it round. Now, let me just look at the... I wanted to have a look at this roof that goes on the top, because I don't know if it's going to fit. Oh, it might do. Anyway, I'll do the roof the way I've always done it. So, spin it around. This is the 45-degree thatch. And like that, so overlap it. That means it won't be poking out the top and look strange. It's only an aesthetic thing, I think, but that's the way I do it. Oh, I'm out of wood, which means there must be more wood somewhere in that pile I created. No, in fact, now is the time to demolish the shelter. So because we don't need to make any more tools, in fact, do you know what? Before we go any further, let's repair our tools, because what we're going to do now, we are going to demolish the rest of this shelter, which means we can't build anything on the table. We can still use the table, but we can't build anything on it. And then we're going to get the wood back for this, and that's going to hopefully allow us to finish the this hut. If not, I'll just have to go and get some more wood. And somewhere there I've miscalculated, so I'm going to gather some more wood. Unless you don't more than likely the wood I've got back has not been the full amount I've spent to create that shelter, so that's all that is. So you might need a bit more wood to do it this way round. What you can potentially do is, if you've got a nice, fairly flat bit of ground, you can build your workbench and then start building a hut around it. I've not done it that way, so I'm going to chop down more wood. Okay, I've gone and got more wood. So from there, I'm going to use this, just go into that. It's a 45-degree wood wall. Click on that. And we're going to try and line it up with this top part. And it goes, let's see, there we go. And then again, one here. And then one there. And one there. And then just do the same at the other end. And then I'm going to use the low wall piece, which is this one. The wood wall half. I'm going to use that to just fill in that last gap. And that's it. That's the hut built. So what I'm going to just do now is I'm just going to demolish the workbench. And we're going to build that again inside. So let's open the door. We'll go in. It's very dark, but that won't matter in a minute. So what I'm going to do is put the, let's see, crafting. Let's put the workbench here. That's going to protect it a little bit from the elements, but also it's all going to be in one base. So then we go to furniture, and we've got a bed, and the bed will allow us to sleep. So I'm going to pop that over there. I'll get the stone that we need for the campfire, and I'll show you where that's going to go. Okay, so we should now have enough for the campfire. We're going to place it in the middle of that there. It's important that you've got no wooden floor there, because the campfire won't sit on a wooden floor. So make sure it's bare ground under there, and then that's it. And don't worry about it, because it's not going to set fire to anything in your house. It will set fire to you if you walk on it. So now that we've got that chimney facing outwards, this won't fill with smoke. And as you can see, we're resting, and we've got a comfort of 4. So comfort, you get different levels of comfort depending on what you've got in your shelter area. And depending on the comfort rating, you will get more rested bonus. So currently I'm rested, so you get 7 minutes standard from a shelter. With comfort 4, you'll get 4 extra minutes. So currently it's a maximum of 11 minutes for me, and by adding more to this I will get more comforts, but for now 4 is not too bad. Let's just get rid of Hugin. There we go. So the next thing to remember is that when it's dark, things attack more often. It's harder to work because it's dark, so why not just jump into bed. So the first thing you'll do when you first make the bed, you'll press E to make that your spawn point, and then you'll press E again to sleep in it. If you die, you'll spawn at this point in future in this bed. Good morning indeed. Oh, one thing to remember of the fire is that it does need fuel, but the fuel does last a long time. So 2 fire will keep that going a good long time. The next thing to think about putting with the fire, that couples with the fire, is the cooking station. So you put this over a campfire, and then what that allows you to do is to go up to it, and you can cook. If you've got cookable items in your inventory, you can press E, and it will automatically cook those items, or you can equip them to your quick slots and choose them with the number. But I've got just meat in there, just 1 meat at the moment. So I'm going to throw it on there. With the meat, it'll sizzle the first time, like you just heard. When it's finished cooking, it will sizzle the second time. You want to take it off then if you want the cooked meat. You can, however, leave it on until it burns, and then you get charcoal, which is useful for other things. But I'm going to make the meat for the moment because it will add to my stamina, and it's going to make me stay alive a lot longer. There you go, there's the second sizzle. So we take it off the meat now, and we've got it in our inventory, and I'm going to eat that up right now, along with some more mushrooms and raspberries. Okay, so we need to start getting equipped. Now that we've got our shelter, I mean, the next thing you can do if you want is to build some walls around it to make it a bit safer, but you don't necessarily need to do that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start working on getting some items to make me better equipped. So one of the first things I suggest you go for, if you can, is the bow. And the bow is going to need some leather scraps. So I'm going to go and attack these handy boars over here, so I can try and get some leather scraps to make the bow as well. So what you will need is deer hide to make better armor and things like that to begin with. And deer, there's 2 ways to kill deer. You can either try and sneak up with them with a dagger or some item, which is the harder way, but you can attack them with a bow from range, and if you get it just right, you will kill them in 1 or 2 shots. It can be quite hard, but I find that the bow is easier for me, so that's why I'm working on getting the bow. Okay, so I've gathered all the leather scraps from boars that I need. I've also managed to kill a couple of deer in the process, but trust me, it'll be easier with a bow. So let's create the crude bow. There we go, crude bow created. I need to create wooden arrows, which I'll need more wood for. Okay, I think, right. Oh, grey dwarf. Interesting. Uh-oh, 1-star grey dwarf. Right, so I'm going to die here. What I've managed to do, I just discovered a moment ago, is build on the edge of the Black Forest, which is another biome within the game, which is a lot tougher. So I think that's why I'm now getting some tough fellas. Tough boys. Yeah, I'm probably going to die here. Right, let's move on. Let's see if we can get away with it. Nearly done. I might get away with this. So those stars that you see on the health bars are in fact they make, you know, 1 star is worse than no stars, and 2 stars is worse than 1 star. So the more stars, the harder the mob is to kill. But I've managed to pick up a couple of little things there that I by accident. So that's nice. So yeah, don't note to self, try not to build on the edge of the the Black Forest at the very start of the game anyway. Nope. Knocked a few trees down there. That's good. Oh, and a big tree. Okay, getting out of the area. Well, that's good. I'll have a lot of wood in future, so let's get all this. Okay, so then now we've got the we've now got a bow and we've got some arrows. So let's go and see how this works. So basically, with the bow, it's a case of left click to draw the bow and then release. If you hold it for longer, it will go more powerful, but it uses stamina while you're holding the bow, so you can't just sit there holding it and hope that you're gonna stumble on something, because it will use your stamina while you're doing it. I'm gonna waste an arrow here by letting this go. So I shot a tree for no damage and it gave me some skill, so that's good. So there's a boar over there, so what we're going to do, that far away you want to aim above it. There is some arrow drop and that's too low. The good thing about boars is that they are aggro, so they will probably come towards me rather than running away. He says confidently. Yeah, here we go. Oh, they're running very quickly. Let's get the axe out. Okay, there's the bow. There's the bow. So I'm going to aim above it. So it takes a bit of practice, and it gets better with the better bows. But yeah, that's the sort of premise of it. We're gonna need the bow to take on Eikthyr, because you're probably gonna need to kite him if you're soloing him. Oh, there's another runestone there. But what this is really good for is deer, because the deer you can attack if you get good at shooting the bow. The deer you can attack from distance that way. If you can get close enough, that is. You can attack them from distance, and you will need leather to create leather armor and things like that. So I'm going to try and sneak up on this deer that's around somewhere. Oh, there it is. So moving targets are harder to hit, obviously, especially the deer. He's way off in the distance now, so I'm probably not going to catch that deer. Got it. That was a bit of a lucky shot, but there you go. Oh, there's a boar. Always good for leather scraps. One shot at the boar as well. That's quite tricky. There's a deer over there, I think. Is that? Oh, is that a rock? Or is it a log? It's hard to tell. There's 2 deer down there. There's 3 deer. So let's see if we can pick one off. There's one. One is spooked, one isn't spooked. So let's go for that one over there. That's 2. Oh, get good at this now. And 3. Hey, there you go. So that's 3 deer. Obviously, bear in mind on these slopes, it can be quite hard to. There's the meat. You do need a lot of stamina to come up these hills. Down is easy, up is hard. So we've now got quite a stack of leather there, so we'll head back to the homestead and we'll work on some leather items that are going to make life easier when we take on Eikthyr in a little while. Okay, so another material you want to look out for is along the edge of the water, which is these slightly longer greyer looking stones, and they are flint, and these obviously will unlock some further plans for you, including the Flint Axe, which is a bit more of a hard wearing and I believe a quicker axe. It does more damage. So I'm going to go and build one of those now. Okay, so along with the workbench, you also have extra crafting items. These are items that will allow you to create new items. Obviously, that sounds a bit obvious, but that is the case. So these are the chopping block and the tanning rack, and you can see I'm going to need some materials for those. So I'll gather the materials for those, and then I'll show you the things that these will unlock. So for the chopping block, we're going to need 10 flint and a workbench and 10 wood. The workbench obviously just needs to be built. It needs to be built somewhere near it. And the tanning rack again is 15 flint and 20 leather scraps. So I'm going hunting some boars and to find some flint. Okay, so I've got the materials for the chopping block, which is going to go there. And we've got the materials for the tanning rack. Now these do 2 things. Let's see if I can find somewhere to put it. Yeah, these do 2 things. First of all, they unlock more recipes, but they also upgrade. Let me just get off my hammer. They upgrade the workbench. So if you look, I've got now a 3-star workbench, and what that allows me to do is upgrade my existing tools to be better tools. So they will, obviously improved versions of the tools, which is excellent. So the next things I want to do is create a leather helmet, leather pants, and leather tunic. So I'm going to need 18 leather to do all 3 items, which I've got. So I'm going to craft those. That's going to give me better armor, more protection from Eikthyr before I fight him, or when I fight him. And we'll do the leather helmet. So go into the inventory and just right click the item to equip it on those 3. And there you go. As you can see, I've now got a set of leather armor, which is going to improve my survivability a lot more against the boss. So next things we need to do ideally is just some better weapons. So I've currently got the obviously the Crude Bow and the Flint Axe as well. So I think, so I know that one bow won't last the whole fight with Eikthyr, so it's definitely a good idea to have 2 bows. So I'm going to create a second bow. I might upgrade the first one to the durability. It doesn't change the durability by the looks of it, so let's see, durability 100%, 50 out of 50, durability 100. Let's just see, where's the Crude Bow? Oh, okay, so it'll double the durability, so maybe actually I'll just upgrade the Crude Bow. So next thing I'll do is get the materials together to do that. Okay, so I've got the mats to upgrade the Crude Bow. Let's make that better. So it's going to last a little bit longer against Eikthyr. It's level 2 bow now. We're going to need lots of arrows. I picked up some flint head arrows from random chests I've found in farms, which is a thing. And I'm going to need to make some more wood arrows. Although I've now got the ability to make fire arrows, which, yeah, we'll give them a go. Why not? I've not used those yet. More than likely going to be useful. So we'll make some fire arrows. And I will gather the wood to make some more regular arrows as well. Okay, before we go and take on Eikthyr, there's one more thing I want to create, which is a Flint Spear. So I'm going to mostly try and use the bow on him, because I do like using the bow in this game, but it's always good to have a backup. So if we have a look, oh, I can't see it now, but basically we're going to need some leather scraps, we're going to need some wood, and we're going to need some flint. I will just run back and get the exact amounts for you, because I like to be helpful. Let's have a little look. Okay, so a Flint Spear is 5 wood, 10 flint, and 2 leather scraps. So let's just see if I've put anything away. We've got 1 leather scrap, so that's fine. We've got more than enough wood. And so we'll just need some flint. We just need 5 flint. So let's go and gather some flint. It's all down by the water, so that's fine. We'll go and find that. It's not a problem. Okay, so I've gathered everything I needed to create the Flint Spear, as you can see there. I've also upgraded the Flint Spear and the shield to level 2 as well, just to make them a bit more, well, a bit stronger. I don't think I'm going to struggle at this point, but we'll see. This should be enough. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rested. We're going to eat, and then in the morning we're going to go and hunt Eikthyr. The main thing to remember is that you're going to need to take 2 deer trophies. So obviously you will have killed enough deer for this by now, but you need to make sure you've got 2 with you. I'm going to take all 7 because why not? It's only 54 weight. So yep, so I'm going to rest up and then we'll go and take on Eikthyr in the morning. So when I've done my food, I've also grilled up some necktail. So they're the green lizard things that hang around by the edge of the water. They're called necks. So I've grilled up some of those as well, because I can eat them alongside the meat. So I've got enough there to keep me going. So I'm going to eat some now. And you can see my health and my stamina have shot up, which is going to make life easier. I'm going to use my axe to get me there so that, you know, I do a minimal amount of wear and tear on the stuff I'm going to use to fight Eikthyr. And here's Hugin to talk to us when we get to... You found the summoning place of one of the Forsaken. Make the correct offering at their altar and they will come. Be wary, though the Forsaken are not easy prey. So craft a wicked weapon, don your finest armour, and eat a hearty meal before engaging them in combat. Done, done, and done. I've got 101 health, which is the most I've had so far. Oh, here comes the sun. So it's going to be a nice sunny day to take on this giant beastie. As you can probably tell, is going to be a big stag. So... I'll go through this quickly before I start the fight because it'll be easy to explain. So he's got 3 attacks. One is like a shooting attack of lightning, straightforward. So just get out the way. He does an AoE lightning attack, which is easy, just stay away from him. And then he does a lunging melee, which apparently can be blocked with the shield. So if I end up using the spear, that would make life easier. I'm just going to wait for this wet to drop off, and then we'll be good to go. So we need to, let's see, we'll get rid of the hoe, we'll put the antlers on there. Let's get the bow out ready to go. Oh, hang on, let's get the bow out ready to go. We'll go 6. And he's done it. There we go. So here we go. This is Eikthyr. And it's just a case of kiting him is the main tactic here. I've got my fire arrows on the go, so that's the lightning attack. I'm just going to kite him round. He's on fire, so that's good. He's doing a bit of damage over time. This will be the, there we go. That's the AoE attack which hit me, unfortunately, but there we go. Oh, and he caught me again. Doesn't seem to hit too bad. I think the melee attack is the worst one. So we're just gonna get away from him before he stomps on us. Oh, here he comes. Cool. There will also be some added help here, no doubt, from these greylings, but they won't be too bad to take out. There we go. Avoided that one. That's not too bad. Run out of stamina, so I'm just going to try and not sprint. Just going to try and stay away from him and away from the AoE. That's fine. There we go. Sprint away a little bit. Oh, he got me that time, I think. Yeah, he did. So let's just see. Oh. Okay, missed me with that attack. That's good. Running out of stamina here, so let's just keep moving. So while we do that, let's just get the sword, the spear, and the get away from him. Let's go back to the bow. Now we've got some stamina. Run away. Got me that time. Not done too badly though. That's not too painful when he gets you with that. Just got to stay away from him a bit. Let's see. Luckily, he's not too hard to kite. These stones definitely make it easier. Let's get the stone between me and him. He's going to do his AoE, so let's get away. There we go. Let's give ourselves a little breathing room. Oh, here he comes. He's favouring that AoE, and I think that's because I'm staying away from him, so that's good. He's over halfway done now, so that's fine. We haven't got a massive amount of fire arrows left, I wouldn't say, but that's not a problem. Oh, he got me with that was the straightforward attack that time. Which is, I think, the one he's getting me with. Nope. Okay, let's go for the spear and the shield for now, because if he does catch me, I'll hopefully be able to block his attack. There we go. He's done the AoE this time. Oh, run away. Oof. There we go. Missed me. That's good. Oh, caught me with the straightforward lightning attack. But again, nothing drastic. Nearly done now. So I think if we go spear and shield, that's not too bad. I've got no stamina, so I need to just get away from him. There we go. Done. And it's as simple as that, he says. Took about 2 minutes or so. That's not too bad. So there we go. We've got Eikthyrs head. We've got some hard antlers, which are going to be useful. And that's Eikthyr. So, that is the fight. It's just a case of keeping away from him. It's more of a fight of running away and keeping your distance than anything, but it's not too bad. So if you're well prepared with your leather armor and your shield and your spear and things like that, this is Hugin going to take me to take the trophy to the circle stone, the stone circle, which we're now going to do. So if you've got your leather armor and your shield and you've got backup weapons and you've eaten, then you should be absolutely fine. It's not really that tough, and if you've got a buddy to do it with, then even better. A, it'll be more fun, and B, it'll be easier. So let's go and put the trophy where it needs to be, and I'll show you the next part of the process. Okay, so we're at the stone circle where it all started. Look at those deer everywhere. I've come out in celebration of my victory. Probably not. So I'm just trying to remember. There we go. It's the first one there. Here's our friend Hugin. It's going to tell me where I need to put it. Yep. So we go over to the hook, the trophy hook. We attach item, and then we E to activate the power. Forsaken, sacrificed. So to Hugin. You have granted the power of Eikthyr. Use it in times of need. Your next target dwells in the Black Forest. Go there, explore the lands, and cover their lost treasures and resources. The Elder awaits. So, the Eikthyr ability. When you kill one of these Forsaken, you get an ability. You can choose them once you've killed a few. You can choose between them, but obviously I've only got Eikthyr at the moment, as you can see in the bottom left. The Eikthyr power is ready, and what this one does is it reduces the amount of stamina and running and jumping takes for, I think, 2 minutes. I don't know, but you use F to activate it like that. So if you watch now, if I sprint, it's using a lot less stamina. Sprint for longer, basically, and then it's got like a 20-minute cooldown. Oh, it's 5 minutes actually. That's not too bad. It's got a 20-minute cooldown, so that's, it's one of those. Use it wisely. If you're going up a mountain or something like that, and you need the stamina to run up a mountain, that's what you would use it for, more than likely. Okay, so that is how you get started in Valheim, and that's how you beat Eikthyr. From Eikthyr, you will get these hard antlers. These will be used to create an antler pickaxe, which is what allows us to farm stone from big stones like this, and also metal when we find it, and we can build bigger and better things. And that is the reason why you want to kill Eikthyr, because it unlocks much better building potentials. So thanks for watching, guys. The videos on your screen now might be helpful to you, so don't forget to check them out if there is something you're interested in. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more Valheim videos, because there's gonna be many of them, because look at this game, it's beautiful. And don't forget to like if you've enjoyed this video, and leaving a comment below if you want to let me know what you've been up to in Valheim. I want to know what you've been building. Don't forget to check out our Discord as well, because that would be a great place to put some screenshots. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to play it on hard mode. Bye!